Hey, hi, how you doing? This is the VlogTron. Welcome back to the VlogTron Show, and welcome to part number 15 of the VlogTron Show. And I gotta tell you, everybody, everything's going back to the past. My childhood nostalgia strikes back. The TV shows, the movies, even the video games that I adored, that I was obsessed with as a kid, are having epic comebacks. First off, there's Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack has had its 5th and final season, which I'm sure all of you have heard about. I watched it. It was fantastic. It was heartwarming, heartbreaking, seeing one of my favorite, not really cartoon shows growing up, but cartoon movies. I always saw Samurai Jack. I didn't find out that Samurai Jack was a full-blown TV show till much later on in my life. For the longest time, I thought it was just an animated movie. I eventually found out that the Samurai Jack movie was actually the first 3 episodes of the Samurai Jack TV show all rolled up into one. I then soon after watched the entirety of the Samurai Jack TV show, and goddamn, that's such a good show. Not just as a cartoon, not just as a work of art, but as a story. Samurai Jack is just so good. It's so good, man. And this 5th season has been incredible. And to see one of my childhood nostalgic, childhood adored classics get a proper ending, it's crazy. I mean, I was obsessed with the Samurai Jack movie and then the TV show. It was just so good. Jack is such an excellent protagonist. Aku is an amazing villain. The voice work is superb. The animation, oh man, there's just no other animation, there's just no other cartoon, there's no other show that's animated like Samurai Jack. It's so good, so artistic, so stylistic. God, I love it. And it was kind of disappointing that Samurai Jack, with seasons 1 to 4, there was never a proper ending. The show never got a proper ending, which was disappointing. Jack never got back to the past, never defeated Aku. Then season 5 came out this year. Oh my god, I've been glued to my computer screen, just waiting week after week for the next episode of Samurai Jack Season 5, and it has been an emotional roller coaster. Oh my god, Season 5, so good, and that final episode, oh man, a tearjerker, a heart-wrencher. Oh man, Samurai Jack. To see Samurai Jack come back, get the conclusion it always deserved, a lot of people say, I've heard them say that watching the final episode of Samurai Jack is like them closing a book or a chapter of their childhood, and I kind of felt that when I saw the final episode of Samurai Jack Season 5, the series finale. God, that was so good. Such a good show. And I never thought that Samurai Jack would ever get a proper ending, that show would ever come back. And to see my childhood, my childhood shows, one of the things I grew up with as a kid, make an epic comeback like that. It's just, words can't describe it, man. Words can't describe it. And then in terms of other TV shows, well, not TV shows, movies making a comeback, I might as well get into that. Movies making a comeback, another movie that I adored as a kid and watched just over and over again. My parents, they love me to death, I love them to death, but deep in the back of their minds, I know there's this grudge I'm sure they hold against me for having them watch the same animated kids movies over and over and over again, because that's what I did as a kid. We didn't have video games and barely any access to the internet, and so we weren't constantly experiencing new things. So as a kid, I was just, what awesome experiences, what awesome fantasy and sci-fi experiences that I had at my disposal, I would just watch them and try to re-experience them over and over and over again, because new experiences were limited when I was younger. Now that I'm older and I have access to my own income, oh man, the amount of endless experiences I get to experience through television, movies, and mostly video games. This is a gaming channel after all. I love gaming, and I think gaming is the ultimate form of creative expression and creative, unique experiences to obtain. But yeah, I talk about that in every other video. But yeah, another movie making a comeback on Netflix as a TV show. This news broke super recently and has me, so pumped. I'm so excited. The Dark Crystal. For those of you who don't know what The Dark Crystal is, it's an amazing amazing children's fantasy movie that was completely done with puppeteer work. Like, there's no actual humans in the movie. It's all done by these it's all starring creatures that are puppets. These amazingly done puppets. Even to this day, the puppeteering and the special effects, the practical special effects, hold up to this day. They look incredible. And now The Dark Crystal, one of my favorite childhood movies, a movie I loved as a kid and rewatched over and over again. I loved the villains of The Dark Crystal, the Skeksis. Such wonderfully creative, wonderfully vile, wonderfully disgusting, evil creatures. Fantastic villains, the Skeksis. They were the stars of the show of The Dark Crystal, and now The Dark Crystal's making a comeback on Netflix as a TV show, a 10-episode TV show. I don't know if it's coming out this year or next year. Hopefully it's coming out this year. Oh, I can't bloody wait. I'm so excited to see The Dark Crystal, to see the practical effects update, to see characters from the movie returning in this TV show, because apparently this Dark Crystal TV show is going to be a prequel to the movie, so we may get some answers to actually quite a few plot holes that were in the movie. So this Dark Crystal TV show has some wonderful opportunities to expand the movie and do better where some of the movie had some of its faults. Like, looking back on the movie today, rewatching the movie today, like, the practical effects are still incredible. I still love them, but oh man, that story though, that story and that character development, that could use some work. Hopefully with this TV show they'll be able to expand and broaden the horizons and the potential of the Dark Crystal universe, because that universe, that world, that story, oh, brimming with endless potential, really. So there's another incredibly nostalgic childhood movie making a comeback in said current year. That's just incredible. It's incredible. First Samurai Jack, now The Dark Crystal, and on top of that, recently came out, and I'm going to be seeing this movie in theaters very soon, Alien Covenant. I saw Alien as a kid. Yes, I saw Alien and Alien 2 as a kid. I saw it at a much younger age than I should have. I will admit, I'm one of those lucky kids that got to see Alien and Aliens at a young age, and oh boy, while they were certainly scary movies, they were also awesome movies, because while the Xenomorph is a terrifying creature in every sense of the word, I love terrifying creature designs. I love aliens and creatures, science fiction, fantasy. I love dragons and monsters. I just love creatures. I love creatures, humanoid, reptilian, humanoid, insectoid. Like, I just love stuff that isn't human. It's why I love animals. It's why I love when television and movies and video games where they have non-human characters. It's why I love video games like Mass Effect with all these alien characters that they don't look human, and trying to portray human emotions through these alien-looking characters is a challenge, but when pulled off correctly, it makes you feel like you're in another world, and these are real living, breathing creatures, and I love that. I adore that. I adore that type of character development. I adore that type of character type. So I'm sure you guys have an idea of what I'm talking about when I bring up Alien Covenant, the new movie. We're going to see aliens! We're going to see xenomorphs on the big screen again! I know there's already some controversy with Alien Covenant, and I know the fan base is really split on the movie. I kind of spoiled myself on the big plot twist, but hey, it's about the journey, not the destination, and I just want to see aliens on the big screen again, and have that alien experience in the theaters. I was really hoping with Prometheus that it was going to be a proper Alien prequel, and we'd see some xenomorphs, but there were no xenomorphs in the damn Alien prequel. Alien Covenant, I know for a fact, and you all know, it's no secret that there's actual goddamn proper xenomorphs in Alien Covenant, and I love the xenomorphs. I do. I love the Alien franchise. I love the universe. I love Alien vs. Predator. God, Alien vs. Predator is so badass. Oh, man, so I can't wait. I can't wait. I know maybe there'll be some disappointment when I see Alien Covenant when it comes to the story. Absolutely, but seeing the scenes with the xenomorphs in them, seeing the action scenes with the xenomorphs in them, that'll be more than worth it. Seeing the aliens on the big screen again, oh, Can't wait. Can't wait. Another nostalgic childhood story and characters and franchise coming back, making a comeback in the current year. My childhood nostalgia just comes rushing back, striking back. I feel like I'm back in the early 2000s again. And while the next example isn't really childhood nostalgia, more teenage nostalgia, because I didn't really get into horror movies till I got to my teenage years. Like most kids, I was scared of scary movies. Like, of course, sometimes I wanted to be a big boy and try and push my way through a scary movie, but there were some movies where, nah, I can't handle this, too young for this, nope, gonna have a few nightmares for a few weeks. But in my teenage years, oh man, I became obsessed with horror movies, especially Friday the 13th and friggin' Jason Voorhees. I fucking love Jason. Jason, you badass mofo killer, you. Look, if we're being honest, the Friday the 13th movies, they're not that good. They're cult classics, but objectively, they're not the most well-made films. However, you can definitely see some of the passion behind the movies. Like, they were going for a certain style, certain atmosphere, a certain type of film and filmmaking with those films. And there are some genuinely very entertaining Friday the 13th movies, with even a decent character or two. But Jason is always the star of the show for his gory, over-the-top kills on his victims. And my teenage nostalgia has come rushing back because very recently, and hopefully I'll play the game and make a video on it sometime soon. Depends, I'm a bit on and off about it, but Friday the 13th, the video game, got released on Steam, and it has mostly positive reviews. As a matter of fact, I'm going to check right now if it still has mostly positive reviews. You can never tell with Steam reviews. Steam reviews are not very helpful or honest. Ha! I knew it! The reviews are now mixed. There are more positive than negative reviews, but still, the reviews are now mixed. Knew it! Good thing I checked. But yeah, Friday the 13th and Jason Voorhees finally got their own bloody video game. It was about time! It was about bloody time. And the type of video game that the Friday the 13th video game is quite suitable. It makes sense for the Friday the 13th franchise that you would either play as Jason hunting the camp counselors, or you would play as the camp counselors running from Jason. It's a perfect, it works. It works. It's a perfect setup for a game. Whether the game actually plays well and works, I have yet to play myself and find out for myself. Very disappointed, though, that there's no proper single player. Hopefully, if enough people pick up the game and it gets enough money, if it gets enough money, gets enough support, that we'll eventually see some single player or PvE content get into the game. Please. Thank you very much. Multiplayer only. But yeah, I'm still happy that Friday the 13th is back in a big way with its very own game. You know people are going to be streaming this and making videos of this. This game going to be on the interwebs, going to be in your feed for some time in the future. Hopefully it's an actual good game. Eventually I'll play it. Hopefully. We'll see. Who knows? But I'm glad to see Friday the 13th just back in some way. It's great. It's great to see these things that really helped build you up as a person and expand your horizons and craft how you look at the world, how you think about the world, your building blocks of imagination, if it were. To see them come back, to see those things make a comeback, to see them reignited and brought in a new light at the age you are now with all the new experiences you've had, just having those memories come flowing back and seeing this stuff again, but in a new way, it just feels good. It feels good. Nostalgia, it can be dangerous. Like, don't get me wrong, it can be dangerous, especially when it comes to video games in the game industry. We have too many gamers who are completely reliant on nostalgia, and they look at the game industry and the games released today with only nostalgia goggles on, and they call perfectly fine, perfectly well-made video games, perfectly good works of art and products, call them trash because they're not like the games they played over a decade ago. Yeah, those kind of nostalgic gamers. There's still a problem. And there are still some developers out there that try maybe a bit too hard to recreate the games of yesteryear, that they don't think about, hey, look what new developments, look what new mechanics have come out recently that have really helped games, really built games up, really made games special and unique and replayable, all this good stuff. It's a unique balancing act. It's a unique balancing act looking for influence and inspiration from nostalgia and not letting nostalgia being your sole focus point, if you have an idea of what I'm saying. It's still, nostalgia can be a good feeling, like the good feelings I'm feeling now seeing my childhood and teenage nostalgic TV shows and movies and franchises and characters come back for another roll, another swing at the base. Anyways, this has been yet another VlogTron show, a very casual, very relaxing vlog conversation discussion video. I'm happy with this one. I'm very happy with this one to be a bit more in-depth about myself and the stuff I loved when I was younger and nostalgic about. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions in the comments section below. Thank you for sticking and watching this another episode, part whatever, of the VlogTron show. I know there are a few of you that actually really like this more casual type video. I'll see to making more in the future, who knows. Anyways, this has been a video. You guys know the gist, the like, the comment, the subscribe, the share, the patrons, the social medias, all that good jazz. See you guys all later.